But first tonight, an unusual idea from an unusual source. This is the brainchild of Phil Cooper, the son of the cult leader Neville Cooper.
Phil Cooper escaped from his father and the rest of the Cooperites. You remember them? Have a look at those pictures. You'll recall those. That was the cult at the time. He escaped to set up a pretty successful life, set up a very successful construction company in Christchurch, employing lots of local Filipinos.
He did, and those Filipinos are helping rebuild Christchurch after the earthquake. So the idea from Phil Cooper is, why don't we help them with their disaster?
This is not your so-called normal idea. Paula Penfold travelled to the Philippines to check it out.
Tell me about the process. You decide, I know what, I think I'll have a concert in Tacloban, and then you have to get it all together. But tell me about any moments where you've thought, hang on, have I bitten off more than I can chew here?
Yeah, well, I think knowing that they'd also been through a disaster and knowing that things like generators, power, all of those things which we take for granted are not here. And trying to pull off something like this is pretty out there.
Six weeks on from the horror of Haiyan, determination has many forms here. No matter the enormity, no matter the hopelessness, everyone just has to get on with it. Even if it seems so wrong that someone so young has clearly picked his way along this precarious path too often. Phil, I was going to ask you why you're even here in the first place, but I guess seeing this kind of scene is the answer to that question, is that right?
Well, Paula, I think at the end of the day, you know, seeing the human tragedy that I've seen in the last weeks that I've been here, it just breaks my heart. And I just think, you know, when you see people around, they've lost everything, bodies still being recovered, Paula, it breaks your heart. What can we do?
The connection Phil Cooper has with the Philippines is a direct one. He's travelled here 12 times this year alone, employing staff for his Christchurch construction company. 70 Filipinos so far.
This is the oldest daughter?
One of Phil's workers, a carpenter, is the father of 6 children, whose home in Ormoc is still standing, but has suffered severe damage.
Do you miss your dad?
Yes, she's the one who...
I know, you know what? I know your daddy misses you.
You've offered him the opportunity to come back here and yet to be with them now, and yet he feels he can't?
I think his thing has said, boss, I can help my family more financially. They need me to be here. He's so right. I understand that it's actually far better. He can do more good working, sending money back to his family, right, than he can be here.
As heartbreaking as that must be for him.
And what can he, like when you see the devastation, Paula, what can he physically do? He's one man.
Everyone, it seems, is facing choices they'd rather not make. Because who would choose this? A fresh load of rubbish from a ruined shop sparks competition in the search for something, anything, which might have some value. This is the personification of desperation. It's impossible now to imagine what it used to be like. This city of 1 million people, which once prided itself on being the cleanest, greenest in the Philippines. Reduced to this. A family forced to bury their dead in the only available place they could find, the side of the road. But they give them whatever dignity in death they can, with whatever they can. Dignity for the dead is difficult to achieve when this is all you have to work with. It's a makeshift morgue at a disused way station, the best site officials could find. It's 6 weeks since these people died. A field of death in the beating sun, cadavers awaiting forensic identification through dental records, DNA and fingerprints. Not that there are many left of them. Dr. Nick Boaton is a member of the Disaster Victim Identification Team. You have difficult circumstances to work under here, don't you? You have no electricity, you have no water.
Yes, ma'am. We have no electricity and water.
How long will it take you to complete this process to forensically identify all of the dead?
Actually, in the assessment, it would take around a minimum of 3 years to complete the said processes.
3 years to complete this process?
Yes, ma'am.
Slow progress is inevitable given the vast scale of this disaster. But there is a sense that things are moving forward. It's 3 weeks since we were last here, and then everywhere we went there were messages asking for food and water and help. Now in their place are messages of appreciation and of inspiration. This you see everywhere. Translation, stand up to Cloben. But they can't do it alone. There are still nearly 5,000 people living here at the convention centre where they fled to escape the storm. To describe it as squalor is no exaggeration. So it's here where Jessica Cooper, who's Phil's 16-year-old daughter and a Kiwi teen, is distributing some relief. The recipients do what they can in the hope of being chosen. And for Nikki Harrison, an employee of Phil's here to help with the project, the realisation that they'd completely underestimated the need is a little overwhelming.
It's a bit terrifying, actually. I'm terrified. Yeah, I haven't seen desperation like this ever.
And partly it's worth remembering that's because this is a country where so many people had so little to start with. We've come south to meet up again with Luna Cameron, a Kiwi Filipino who took us to devastated areas up the coast on our last visit.
Hello, Beth. I'm pleased to meet you. Hello, everybody.
Today she wants to introduce us to a family she's helping in her own home village. 43-year-old Beth has 11 children and 2 grandchildren. They make their home here in the local cemetery. So when the typhoon came, it made an incomprehensibly awful situation even worse.
What does Beth think that it's like for her family to have to live amongst this in a cemetery, to have to make a life here?
She tells us it's hard on her children. 4 of them have asthma, she says, from sleeping amongst the tombstones. They make a little money by keeping the cemetery clean, but it's not enough. So Luna has a new micro project underway. She's aiming to build 5 homes for families in need, like Beth's. What is astonishing to my mind is that you can build a house like this for, your budget looks like around 3,700 New Zealand dollars, is that right?
That's correct.
And we're on day 8.
Day 8.
When do you hope to have this house finished?
I'm aiming for Saturday.
Today's, what, Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
That's incredible.
So it's all with my good team, my Luna's Army.
So why, when the concerns are so fundamental, would you put on a concert of all things? Phil, we've done a few stories with you now over the years, and you are a make-it-happen kind of guy. But what kind of crazy idea is this, that you're going to attempt to pull off a concert in Te Cloben?
I come up with the idea, I was thinking, what can we do that will change their lives? Everyone's giving aid as far as food, rice, everyone's feeding them. And I thought, that's feeding their body. What I wanted to do was feed their soul.
From afar, it may seem a misplaced priority, but we were about to discover that Phil Cooper was onto something, and that he would deliver to the people of Te Cloben a message from New Zealand that should fill us all with pride.
Yes, but that only gives him 2.5 weeks to organise the concert.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks at the best of times. I would have thought it's pretty difficult. But have a look at what happens next in a city with absolutely nothing. Wait till you see this.
Welcome back to Third Degree. Well, the need for practical relief in the Philippines is clear and immense.
But one man from Christchurch has decided he wants to do something just slightly different. He wants to provide the Philippines with a gift, and he decided it was a concert. Here's Paula Penfold again.
It's the day of the concert. And they've come a long way from Christchurch to perform. Members of a kapa haka group to bring a uniquely New Zealand flavour to Phil Cooper's extravaganza. Although, understandably, leader Steve Reid wonders what difference a haka will make. But if the reaction to their test run is anything to go by, they will be appreciated. Straight off the plane, heading into the city, there is a lot to take in for Steve.
We think we got poverty.
And his co-performers, Hikairo Tahai and Rawari Maniapoto.
Oh man, it's unbelievable.
It really is difficult to grasp this level of misery, even when you see it for yourself. Phil Cooper, meantime, is at City Hall, finalising arrangements for his concert. And he gets a surprise offer from the wife of the mayor, Councillor Cristina Gonzalez Romualdez, a well-known actress. She wants to sing.
We prepared around 4 or 5 songs.
I'm actually knowing that I can dance. So you do the singing, and I'll do the dancing.
But he's not just here to entertain. Phil Cooper has a surprise offer of his own.
We would like to come and build 1,000 shelters next year.
Yes, what do you need? We need shelters and homes.
Shelters.
As your people are helping us build our city,
Yeah.
we help you build your city.
Thank you.
All right, Phil, it's only about 5 hours until the concert starts. I'm a little bit worried because you haven't got a stage yet.
I know, Paula, I know what you're saying, and it makes me kind of, I'm looking at, but the power of the human being around here, there's a lot of resources I've got, right?
Okay.
And I'm crazy.
You show me some hustle because you need to make some stuff happen here.
We will,
okay?
we will make some stuff happen. That's what us Kiwis are good at doing, isn't it?
Right, go and do it then.
There, put it back on here, and then get lots of guys.
But maybe this really was too ambitious an idea.
Hey, excuse me, can you be here now? This has all been in the flood. This thing is a joke. This is for the speakers. Can you be here? I want you here now.
1, 2, 3.
Mabuhay! I mean, they've got no scaffolding. There's nothing. No, I need you to be here. I need you to be here. What I paid for is not what I'm getting. A lot of it got wet. I just hope it works.
And slowly, falteringly, the stage is set. But after all this effort, will anyone come? Well, yes, it seems they will. Some of the local bands Phil has secured have lost everything themselves, but they're here regardless.
Let's party!
The much-loved Christina makes good on her promise. Her song choice reflecting the faith of her audience. In broken but rebuilding Te Kloben, it's more than just a lyric. And while kapa haka may be something they've never seen before, it's an intriguing distraction from the homelessness, the hunger, the sorrow, the gift of our culture. It is an intoxicating atmosphere. And maybe it's the adrenaline, but unfortunately, Phil Cooper delivers on his promise to dance. Thank goodness someone's got rhythm.
Well, Phil Cooper, you pulled it off.
Well, finally, think we pulled a lot of hard work, Paula, but it was a great night. I mean, to see New Zealand performing tonight in the middle of a broken city, just like we used to. We're used to broken city in Christchurch. Here we are, back in another city doing the same thing. It's amazing.
You can feel it. There is a genuine appreciation here for this crazy little concert, for some cheer amongst the gloom, with love from New Zealand.
Pretty amazing what one man has achieved there, but of course the people of the Philippines still need all the assistance they can get, right?
They certainly do, and if you'd like to help out with Luna Cameron's project, Building Houses, you can head to our website or our Facebook page.